Let me ask you a question. Who is in the mood for some low cost, simple ingredient meals? I will be right back, so don't go anywhere. All right. Thank you for tuning in this afternoon. I really appreciate it. Um, I have a special guest. You guys know who she is. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Jan from New York City Saves Money's along with me. So let me go ahead and bring her back in.
Hi,
There you
Steve.
are. Hi. So you happen to have some low cost, simple ingredients that you want to share with
I
us today?
do, and I will. Hi, everybody. I just want to say something, Steve. I really love your intro. Just saying, just saying.
Oh, thanks. Yeah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for being here. I appreciate to see you. And of course, Steve, I appreciate your invitation to be here. I think that all of us have a tendency to make meals complicated. And as a result of that, it's going to cost more money.
Hmm.
To me, the less ingredients that you need, the less ingredients you're paying for, the simplicity of putting the meal together. So Steve and I are talking about some simple, low cost meals we could put together. I want to share with you guys, Steve. I actually had this for breakfast today. This morning is your typical hot summer morning, and I said I want something, but I don't want anything hot. So I took my favorite rice crackers. Now you could do the same thing with rice cakes, but
Hmm.
these are rice crackers. They call them stacker crackers. They're in the shape of crackers. They're flat, but they're made from rice. So I had that with a simple piece of cheddar cheese on top of it. I had that, and I had a sliced apple on the side. I love to shake a little cinnamon on top of my apple, and it tastes so good. What did it cost me? 2 seconds of time. Place cheese on top of cracker, cut up apple, shake cinnamon on top, and of course, my favorite instant coffee. Simple, low budget, fairly healthy too. No cooking, no cleanup. Doesn't get easier. Okay, now the next thing that I recommend are simple sandwiches. One of my personal favorite sandwiches, Steve, is bacon, lettuce, and tomato on a good quality toasted piece of bread. It could be good quality whole wheat or whatever bread you have, but at least toast it. Even if you don't have like the most best quality bread, I find that if you toast it, you're upgrading it somewhat and it really helps. And I like to put a little smidge of either or mayonnaise or Miracle Whip. They are both delicious. It's just so good. Next, hot dogs on a toasted bun with sauerkraut and mustard.
Mm,
That's a whole right. I mean, we've done this so many times. It's a fun thing to have. It's
yeah.
actually a complete meal. Steve, you have your carbs from your hot dog bun. You have your protein from the hot dog itself. You have a vegetable from the sauerkraut if you like sauerkraut, and I like the sauerkraut with a little bit of mustard. To me, a little bit of that goes far. What I like to do to play it safe, and it just tastes really good to do it, I like to slice up an orange because the vitamin C in the orange, or drink a little orange juice, cancels out any like negative effects from preservatives that might be in frankfurters. Some frankfurters lately are made even without the nitrites, so you could always check your package label for that. Another trick, Steve, I like to do is take a tomato. I like to make a stuffed tomato with tuna or chicken salad. Now, here's what I do. I like to get, let's say, a nice beefsteak type of tomato. I hollow it out. I cut the top out. I hollow out the inside. No, I don't throw away the inside at all. I set that to the side. I put in my tuna fish or my chicken that I season up, whatever I want, a dressing, chopped onion, or Italian dressing instead of mayonnaise, whatever it is I want, a little salt and pepper. I take all that little salad, put it back in the hollow tomato. I also still have that, pieces of tomato in there that I hollowed out. It works great, Steve. It is so easy. Again, no cooking, not a lot of ingredients, very budget friendly. Next, the thought of a cheeseburger makes a lot of sense. Who doesn't like a cheeseburger? I bet most people do. The idea of the beef patty, the cheese on a toasted bun, whatever you have. And by the way, here's a trick if you run out of hamburger rolls, you don't have hamburger rolls, just make regular toast and put the burger on that. I was at a friend's house and they were so embarrassed, they ran out of hamburger rolls and they said, wait, I have a trick. And what they did was they made a whole bunch of regular toasted. It was really good. I said, I have to remember to do this trick. It was quite good. So I just thought I'd mention that. This is all on the cheap. You could have pickled spears on the side and a handful of potato chips. Some people use Pringles if they don't want to use fried chips. They use like Pringle type chips, for example.
Hmm.
Steve, there's another one. I like to take the same method that I do with the tomato, except I'm doing it with a bell pepper. Red bell peppers to me taste a lot better to me than green. Yes, it is more money. I grant you that. If you could get a sale on them, get them. The red ones are great. The orange ones are great. The yellow ones are great. I don't know. I have this fetish. I don't know. But if you have to get the green, you get the green. Hollow that out. Except you're going to heat up some canned chili. This is easy. Canned chili and some pre-cooked rice that you might have had left over from a previous meal in your fridge. By the way, anybody that makes rice at home, make a little bunch of it and keep it in your refrigerator. Keep it wrapped up in a saver for all week long, for those times. So you want to add a little rice to something to stretch out, whatever. Add it to your heated up chili. Put that into your bell pepper. You can roast it if you rather, or just have it just like that, raw, just like a nice crispy pepper with everything else in it. Yum, you cannot lose. And Steve, I have another very simple one. And it's like having breakfast for dinner. This is so easy, it is a joke. In the freezer aisle in your grocery store, of course, the one you make from scratch will always be the best. But we're talking about saving money and time too. Get the frozen French toast. It is not bad at all. It is not bad, but I do recommend you go the two toaster cycles with it, not just one. That's not enough. Two toaster cycles, and then you could be making on the side, if you enjoy it, sausage patties or breakfast sausage link or whatever you prefer protein. Maybe you'd rather have some fried eggs on the side, either or bacon. You cannot go wrong. I like to have sliced oranges and drink a little bit of lemon water on the side with something like that. Steve, these ingredients are so inexpensive. Everything is easy to do, and you're saving a ton of money. Meals don't have to be complicated. What do you think?
No, they don't. It's just a matter of using your imagination. There instead of having to go out and buy it. Most of the time, you have what you need right there. If you don't want to start anew, maybe you could take something that was prepared, say the night before or the night before that, not hasn't been in the fridge too long. Take it out and you could turn it into something different. That's I know that's repurposing, but that's one thing you can do. But I have some good ones here that I want to share with you. This one I did a video on, plus these other ones. And what I'll do is I'm going to add them in my um, comment section. That way,
Yes.
if you want to go back and look at them, you can. The first one is Poor Man's Jambalaya. I did the video about a year ago. And all you're doing is you take Spanish rice, rice-a-roni. You can do it with Mexican as well. Um, One of them calls for a little can of tomato sauce. So what you're going to do is you're going to prepare the rice-a-roni as you would normally do. But over here, you're going to take kielbasa and cut it up. What I like to do is I like to saute my kielbasa separately. Then I take the kielbasa when the rice-a-roni is about 85% of the way done, and I'll take the kielbasa and I'll add it to, the rice-a-roni mix or the jambalaya. Well, that's the end result. And you just put it together. You leave it
Yum.
another 3-4 minutes to where everything, the flavors marry. Turn it off and you're done. So really, that's not that's not really even three ingredients. If you count the tomato sauce, it would be. And you don't have to use tomato sauce. If you got a jar of spaghetti sauce handy, or you got some spaghetti sauce, your own that you make, which is better than all of it, you can use that just as well as you could the canned tomato. There is no specified exact thing that you have to use in that respect, but it's really good. And I'll put that video down below so you guys can revert back and see it. The next one I absolutely love. Very, very easy. I've mentioned it to a couple of three of my friends, is budget friendly beef stroganoff. That is three ingredients: ground beef or ground turkey. I try to use 85-90%. One family size can of cream of chicken soup. You could use cream of mushroom, which I have tried, in there as well. And then all you need besides that is either egg noodles or elbow macaroni. You cook your ground beef, you cook your pasta. You drain the pasta when it's done, you add it to your ground beef mixture, you open the can of the soup mix or in the can, pour that in, cook it 3 to 5 minutes, let everything marry together, turn it off, dinner served. That's very inexpensive. I'd say within 20-30 minutes, you're completely done with
Yum.
that. And it's really good. I've done it many, many a time. That's not even my recipe. That's actually a good friend of mine's, but I've learned to make it on my own. I mean, there's not really anything to it. I mean, it's so elementary to make. I mean, it really is. The next one, easy beef and mac. You can go one of two routes. You can do the rice-a-roni with the tomato, hamburger meat, elbow macaroni. You can make your rice-a-roni, incorporate the ground beef and the elbows together. Again, about 3 to 5 minutes to bring everything together. Turn it off, dinner is served. If you don't want to go that route, it's similar to what you just mentioned. If you don't want to go the rice-a-roni method, you can use a can of chili. You can go that route and then just add the chili and the elbow pasta, and that's really two ingredients if you think about it. It's just, but you could go that route as well. And
Yum.
it's now if you want to make your own chili from scratch from the ground up, you could do that too. But I personally prefer using Armor chili if I'm going to use anything. If I can't get my hands on Armor, I like to use what they have at the Dollar Tree called Southgate. It's very good. It's not overly spicy. I try to not look for overly spicy chilies. So those two seem to work very well with me. The next one I have, and this is a longtime friend of mine's recipe. All you're doing there, cut up potatoes, about a half an inch wide, boil it. When they're done, drain off the water, add milk. You can use whole milk, 2%. I usually don't go below 2%. Bring the milk just above the potatoes. a stick of butter, let it all melt. Then you get potato flakes. Sprinkle that in. I like to leave the soup mixture just a teensy weensy bit on the thin side because as it sits, it's going to thicken a little bit. And that's real good. And whenever I eat potato soup, I like to sprinkle black pepper on mine.
Yum again.
So that's another recipe that doesn't take too long. Again, the four that I've mentioned here is usually done within a 20 to 30-minute period. It's not anything you're going to be over the stove for hours on end doing. I mean, it's going to be,
Right. And
you know,
they're so hearty enough. You know what, Steve? I'm so glad you mentioned these recipes because while they are comforting, not that many ingredients, definitely low cost, sometimes you just want that little bit of comfort. It's the end of the day and you had a tough day. You want to feel like you ate something. And everything we both mentioned, it's not like earth shattering to prepare. And sometimes one of the biggest reasons, Steve, besides people not wanting to do their dishes, why they lift up the phone to make that call, that expensive call, guess what? Is they're tired. These are not recipes that really are so taxing on the person.
no. Now, I do have one other one to share with you as
Oh, good.
well. You've actually made this as well at one point, but I'll bring it up. Um, you actually tried my method of doing a meatloaf. What you're doing is instead of breadcrumbs, you're incorporating oatmeal in it. And instead of using ketchup, I like to use spaghetti sauce. My spaghetti sauce, if at all possible. If not, no fail, not a problem. You can easily go over and get jarred, a good, decent quality jarred sauce and put in it. And then you can do it in the oven. You could also do it in the slow cooker for 3 hours. I think you said you went that method or you tried it
Steve, I
once.
have to mention this. I made that recipe. You know, when a recipe is good, when you go back to it again. I must have made your dad's recipe at least 5 or 6 times. And
Oh,
yeah, it's really good, very moist, so good, easy to do. And I'm not a fan of ovens going on in the summer. I use this recipe idea almost all year long because my best friend, my slow cooker, I could be creating videos while my meatloaf is going. I don't have to keep checking it. In fact, with a slow cooker, Steve, we're not supposed to keep checking it. You leave it.
yeah, right. Yeah, because once you put everything in there and close the lid and turn it on, it's better to do. You don't want to go back and open it because if you do, then you're kind of stealing away time. Then it takes longer for it to cook.
So per
And,
pound, 3 hours on high. And like Steve mentioned about the spaghetti type sauce, that's what I use. No, you don't taste like a bowl of oatmeal. I know we've gone over this. You taste nothing but moist meat, and
that's
it's
right.
healthier than just idle breadcrumbs.
That's
No, really good. I bless your dad every time I take a bite.
right. Yeah, yeah. And again, the way that happened to come along is my dad was preparing a meatloaf one night. I don't have any ketchup. Um, I wonder if it would be all right to use spaghetti sauce. He didn't really know for sure. I said, yeah, put it in there, try it. Oh my gosh. No, because all you're doing with the spaghetti sauce, you're taking your meatloaf to another level because you're adding more flavoring to it from what it already is. So
Amazing.
yeah. So anyway, I'm glad, we could come on here and share these recipes with everybody. Definitely give them a try. Yours, mine, very simple to do, very easy, budget friendly. You know, definitely give it a shot. I think you'll really like them. Um, I'm glad we happened to get together on here today like we did because they know us on a Saturday. They usually know that we come on a Saturday. So and
It's
I'm glad.
fun that you change it up once in a while like this.
Sure, sure. So anyway, I'm glad you could take a little time out of your morning or your day to join me on this segment because we're like peanut butter and jelly, Siskel and Ebert, Regis and Kathy Lee, however you want to put it. It's all good. We do go hand in hand, and they know it, and that's really matters. And if we can reach one person, we've done our part. If we reach more than one, we've exceeded why we're here.
And if you found value in Steve's video today, don't forget to smash down the like button.
Right. Okay, Jan. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and bring in some outro music, and then we'll say goodbye. All right. Well, Jan, thanks for being here, and
My pleasure.
you're welcome. Yeah, thank you, and thank all of you for tuning in this afternoon. And I'll see you guys back here most likely on Tuesday, as you guys know. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.